Hey yo, what's going on? Happy Thursday, happy Thursday. Hope you all having a great week. I myself having a great week, and today is the start of my weekend. This is my Saturday, and I'm here giving y'all my discussion and my viewpoints of Beyond the Villa and some of the contestants' interviews. Now, I didn't watch all the contestants' interviews, like Pepe or Iris and everything, get their standpoints. But however, if y'all watched it and y'all want my opinion, y'all let me know. Put it in the chat. Y'all tell me give me a brief summary of what they said, and I can give you my opinion of that. However, I did see a lot of it, especially the Huda. I saw the Maya Papaya. I saw the Shelly and Alandria with Kiki. I saw Chris interviews. So I saw a couple people interviews and whatnot, and some other ones that before I was going to do the review. And then to say we're gonna have some things to talk about. And no, I did not watch that Ace rap, so I'm not listening to that. I'm big on rap anyway. So I want him to give all that energy, which I think he will, at the reunion, and dress everybody who said he was the ringleader and stuff like that he wanted to dress. And let's be that. Though I want to be in on reunion, y'all be a mute. I want to hear none of that. You have all that energy at the reunion. Every last one of y'all. Especially towards Huda too. So I want y'all to really give them to each other. I want to hear nothing about nothing. Y'all better have watched the episodes, watch what we saw, because I know the interviews have been done right after they got the villa. So a lot of them have not watched what we have seen. So I feel like they need to start watching what we have seen so they got to have an understanding of where people is coming from. Now, granted, hold up, y'all. Hold on. I know I'm talking behind the thing. I'm talking. Hold up. Hey, shine bright like a diamond. You're beautiful like diamond in the sky. Listen, I know a lot of them have not watched what we have seen, but I think they need to, so they gotta have to understand where we're coming from. I know a lot of people doing the most, so I want them to see what we see, but at the same time, hey boo, see what we see, but at the same time, understand what we seeing, but at the same time, distinguish the people who disturb reality to their own viewpoints. Like, for example, like the Mean Girl stuff. To be honest, my opinion, y'all can have a different opinion. It's fine. Just be respectful. My opinion, I don't think I don't think Alondria and Shelly are mean girls. I don't believe they are mean girls. They responded in classy, legit way. It makes there are things they had done this season what I called out, and y'all watch my reviews. Please watch my reviews. I love my reviews. I have called it out. So I have some things that Laundria did that I did not agree with, and I called it out. And the same thing that Shelly did, and I agree with. I called it out. But it was not to the point that I could relate them as mean girls. I don't think so. At the end of the day, it's not. And I know a lot of new eyes is on this show, so they don't understand what we had to go through to kind of dim ourselves and kind of mims and also kind of filter ourselves to how we respond to say things, because people will take us our least simple gestures as some of the egregious. I mean, in this world, this day and age, we cannot get ignored that. I don't know what y'all are, who your backgrounds are, but I understand where they coming from because I live with myself, and not to the point that I went through a lot of turmoil in my life because I had a good, pretty nice life. But at the same time, like, I understand the nuances about us being black in America. So sometimes we do have to respond different ways. We do have to filter ourselves and not do too much, because even when we do little, they still take it as that we're doing way too much compared to the counterparts. So I'll just say that I don't think they are not mean girls. They responded, they called things out and whatnot. And what I agree with everything they do, no. But at the same time, they is not labeled good. So I don't know where everybody's coming out from. I know we got 9 new eyes. So they took anything as attack, and they being straightforward and honest is not being mean. It's the way how you deliver it. So that's my take on the mean girls. They not. So if you feel differently, let me know in the comment section in the chat, and we could have those conversations. But we're gonna talk about the Beyond the Villa first, and then we get to the interviews and how I feel about some of the topics and things that was discussed and overall things about Love Island itself and this season specifically. Beyond the Villa. To be honest, y'all, I was not gonna watch this Beyond the Villa because people on my chat, home, my Discord, some of y'all who've been like been there with me for a while know that I wasn't really interested to watch Beyond the Villa. Not because I didn't love the season. I loved last season. My first joining of Love Island was last season. It has been a popular season. Hence why I was watched it, because everybody's been talking about it. Before, Love Island has been successful. That's why it's continuing on for so long. But a lot of people's eyes was not on the show. It was like the secret gem that wasn't broadcast, that wasn't a lot of eyes into it. That all of a sudden season 6 came, it just brought a lot of eyes, new eyes, and now a lot of season 7 then became this whole turmoil. Even season 6 it was a disastrous season, but it still was the most successful in terms of viewership. So you had to say that because it stems from season 6. Even though this season has not been great, been entertaining, but has not been great in a sense of how they move, how they structure, how they did this season, production wise, the cast, how they explain things, how they overuse words, and how it was so many codes and stuff that was moving in the season was kind of, it was stupid, to say the least. It was stupid. However, season 6 was my favorite season, and I like Janae, I love Serena. I didn't care for Leah that much. Leah, a little bit good on me, a little bit towards the end, but the beginning, y'all know my view, I couldn't stand Leah. I know Leah's part of the PPG, so I know a lot of Leah's fans out there, but it is what it is. I stand by what I say. I didn't like Leah at first, and I didn't care for her that much. But she good on me a little toward the end when she calmed down. But I always had joy, like Serena and Janae, and I just always just root for the person who's always black. I just root for the genuineness of the people who I like. So, and season 6 was a genuine cast. They had their moments, but it was all real and authentic. I say that to be sad. She was. She definitely was. And I couldn't understand her. I couldn't. I said, Leah, you doing the most, girl. Calm down. Calm down. Season 6 was my favorite season. And yes, if I had to say season 6 or season 7, season 6 is hands down. We watch the season 8. Hopefully next summer, we'll be here for season 8, and we'll see how they give us, especially when they do the more stringent background checks. But I understand why you need to go for that if y'all should have been doing that in the first place. And I understand that a lot of people this season had a lot of following. So I don't understand why would you not look at their social media page and see what they was doing before that. Now, people previous season, maybe not. I started for season 6. Y'all can tell me who it was, if they high influencers or not in the previous seasons before season 6. But last season, I feel like a lot of them was major influencers on social media presence. They became a lot of one. They became a lot of following after the season ended when they got more viewers. But this season, it's like these black people they had a big following on social media already. So come on the show, and then people can dig up their pads and they post and stuff like that to have people get sent home and stuff. It was too much. But back to season 6. Season 6 was great. However, I had my fun with them. It was great. I'm glad that some couples are still together, like the core 6. And however, I was like, do I want to watch this Beyond the Villa? Do I really need to see that? First of all, the reason why I wasn't going to watch the trailer, they seemed too produced. It seemed very produced. It seemed very scripted. And I said, well, I could tell it was something to be over scripted. It seemed like even though it's not a scripted show, but it just seemed like it was scripted. Like it was so produced. Like you tell what you got to be here. It just seemed like overperformed, over dramatic for no apparent reason. And I was like, turn me off. But then I said, you know what? My viewers, my people, my Mizzies was talking to me and they say, no, let's watch it. We can watch it together and everything. And I said, no, okay, let's watch it and let's see how it goes. And here's why I'm doing a review a little bit. The first 2 episodes, it was okay. It was okay. It wasn't great. It was horrible, but it was okay. So we'll see how it goes. So, I'm gonna say it just like my thumbnail. I'm gonna say it now. I'm not doing this with Kayla. I'm not doing it with this Kayla. And this Beyond the Villa, just like I couldn't do with her in the freaking season. I understand why she has her little issues with Aaron, but I said, girl, you forced it too quickly with this guy. You keep playing in your faces. You kept crying throughout the whole freaking season, and I don't want to do this again. And the reason why I have issue with Kayla is like, don't be wrong, Kayla has some valid reasons why she might be upset with Liv. But at the same time, girl, you seem like you don't want to understand their side of the point of view. It's always about your feelings, and you kept going and going and going, ignoring what they have an issue with you, and you ignore it and kept saying it's about you. And that's why I have an issue with Kayla. It's like, it's yes, you and Liv had a friendship, and Liv did some things that she didn't do well, and I will point that out. And she apologized for it, and she could move forward. But when she her grievances towards you, you seem like dismiss that, and it's all about your issues. That's why I have an issue with. And then you can cry and going about it, talk to everybody, talk about everybody. I said, send it, talk to your friend about it. I said, girl, go to her. And then we going to call Abdul about some freaking spray tan and glam and stuff like that. I said, oh, that's your problems. I don't have that issue. Oh no. So I'm saying that I'm not dealing with the kid that she's this was just crying on and stuff. I can't. We had enough of that. And not one with you crying, girl. Because that's a part of emotions. But you doing that a lot. Way too much. And it seemed like she's the focus point of the season. I said we see more of her than everybody else in this two episodes. So I said, oh child. So, Serena, Cordell, Janae, and Kenny, and Miguel and Leah are still together. They're all still surviving strong. Cordell is booking busy. He's doing a lot of things, so he's not around as much. So he's in the season, but he's not around as much because he's doing acting gigs. He got his deals and whatnot. A lot of stuff that he manifested in the season is coming to fruition, especially the Cheez It ordeal and everything. Even though he was like clowning him for it, but he was dead serious and he got it. I said, no, that's why you better get your coins. So, but Serena said she got separation anxiety from Cordell because they've been like together for like under each other for a lot of time since the season ended. But hey Queso, how you doing, boo? He got a lot of jobs. He got to work. I think they're living in LA. They in LA for the summer. I don't know they all living in LA, but I know they in LA for the summer for the Long Island, I guess, summer retreat, whatever it is. And so all the cast was filming in LA for the summer. And oh, sorry, y'all. Oh, hold on. Sorry. Day the summer, but Janae said they was doing long distance, but they are working it out. But Cordell will be at the party. So I said Miguel Leah joined them, and Janae's still not featuring Connor, which I understand. You know what? I know people say, you know what, Janae, it's been a year ago, let it go and everything. But I said, no, she don't have to let it go if she don't want to let it go. I mean, I won't be go too hard for it. I could just ignore the guy. Or if she want to have a chat with him, she can have a chat with him and just move forward for him. But if she don't want to, it's okay. It's the same thing. And then at the end of the day, he had a lot of microaggressions towards Janae through the season, and I didn't like that. A lot of people was like playing Janae left and right. Janae perfect? No. But she and some things I call her out on to when I was doing my review last season too. But they was playing her left and right. The little digs they was coming, especially with Leah, and when she got with Connor, they was doing digs at Janae. I said, what was all this about? What? And it was fucking child. It was kind of messing me up and pissing me off a little bit. With you and they didn't address that. They did not address that. Connor was there sitting mute. They really talked to him like that about his microaggression. It's also that other guy, like Corey, what's his name? Corey, that tall, dark, chocolate guy who's a disappointment. Even his little side comments that besides the season, I think he was going on. I think he was doing interviews and kind of hammering about Janae being two-faced and all this and whatnot, and didn't really apologize for him. Now, granted, he did slip in Janae DMs, And they showed the text messages that hey, he was apologetic, he wanted to talk to her and everything, but Janae had not seen her DMs and even noticed that he even messaged him that because she was trying to say, "Oh no, he didn't do that." I said, "Girl, if you did not check your DMs, how you would know he didn't respond to you or hit you up?" Because you told us, you said this in this Speaking Beyond the Village, you didn't check your DMs. So I said, "Girl, so you women know." But yeah, he was doing interviews saying that she was two-faced, she was this, all that stuff like that, and kept going on and on about Janae. And she was had enough about him. Even it's been a year ago and whatnot. And even in the season, he was making this little slide jump comments. I forgot what exactly he said in the season 6, but we all seen it and we all know, like, okay. When he picked Leah, oh, it's an easy choice. I picked Leah. I said, what? Damn. Like, they said, what? It was so easy. What the hell I did to you? So, even though PB sometimes, like, if you're going to give somebody some energy, I say, if you're going to let it be, Janae, let it be. Don't even talk about him. Don't even let him waste your energy. Don't even waste your breath. Because the more you can talk about it, the more I feel like you being bothered. You are very bothered. Act like you act pretending you not, but you seem like you still bothered. So if you're going to be done with Connor, don't even dress it. Don't even keep talking about it. Because if you keep bringing it up, I say, good. If you're going to have a talk to him, or you'll just ignore it. Because you can't bring it up and then say, oh, why I told him. They're trying to tell Kenny, oh, that's the op. So why you talking to him? I said, y'all move how y'all move. But how I move, like, yes, I'm going to respect my partner and everything, but I'm an individual. I would call the guy. I said, listen, how you treated my girl is not right. I didn't like it. And I had to stand by her side and everything. We could be cool and whatnot. But if she ain't going to be around you, I got to respect that too. Because Kitty and Janae was having a conversation. She said, if I see Connor, I can say hi. She said, oh, you want to say hi? Why? And everything. I said, Janae, he's not your man. Oh, well, he's your man, but he's not your son. So you can't control how his actions are. Because Connor and Kenny only have beef. But the fact you kept hammering about his girl, the one he's dating, that's gonna be issues. So I will be understanding what Kenny did. That he obviously did what he said he was gonna do, what Janae wanted, by not speaking to Connor and kind of avoiding Connor at the party. Even though he said he would talk to him, but he avoided him and everything to Connor put him in the chat and he's having a conversation. So it whatnot. But I do want Janae to like, don't get over it. Don't, but at the same time, don't keep bringing it up if you're gonna let it. If you're gonna be, if you don't care about talking to him, just let it be. Just let it be. So Liv, Kendall, Connor, and Kayla's talking. They're gonna spend this summer in LA, and Liv stayed with Kayla for a while in the US, and their parents, she stayed, they slept in the same bed and everything. They had a good time. Their parents took Liv in, and they was like sisters. They were sisters, and they enjoyed. And they went to Pennsylvania one time, and they became good friends. Liv and Kayla became really close in the villa. So Liv has dated someone. I don't think she really tell us the name, but she's dated someone. Kayla, they had this whole thing about how Kayla gonna feel about Aaron being around because Aaron's around as well, and how that gonna be because Kayla and Aaron didn't really have a good. They ended in the bad terms, but Aaron's lying and whatnot. And I was like, Kayla, but then you still can have sex with guy. He lied to you, but you keep having sex with him. You keep faltering. You just take him back so easily, and all he could do is just bat his little eyes out to you and go like, and it is great. Do you think they need the Janae and Connor beef since Rob's not there? I don't know why Rob wasn't here. I don't know why I wasn't here. But I don't know. Because at the end of the day, Janae and Connor beef was like beginning of the season and then he gone and that's it. And she got her kitty. So I just don't want them to drag this whole thing out throughout the whole season because that would annoy me. Because I said, good, if you're not bothered, just don't be bothered. Don't keep bringing it up. It is what it is. That's just me. If I want to be bothered with someone, I just don't be bothered with someone. It is what it is. And be involved with it, would be more content to the show because it would be more stuff to talk about. But well, I'm not there, so I just don't want them to drag this whole beef because after that, it's not even that deep. You got your man, you're not with Connor. Let Connor do it. I know Connor wants to apologize, is that, but I said if you don't want to have a conversation, just that be. Just that's that. They need to see the sixth producer for this. Exactly. They do. So Kayla is she is nervous to see Aaron and everything. She said she will have a conversation with him, and when they see him at the party, everything and whatnot. Aaron is there. You see Aaron. Aaron's not a bad looking dude. He still got his little like eyes and everything. He got longer hair now. He don't have the short haircut anymore and whatnot. And he said he had to get through his mental health. He had his mental health. He was pretty dark at the reunion. He had to find himself. He said it was involving nature, so he was doing a lot of work things and camping and stuff. And he wasn't involved too much in social media because it was kind of tearing him down and it was making him sad. So he had to get away from that. And I said, So here goes this whole point contention with Kayla and Liv thing. And I said, listen, I can't do this whole season. So y'all make up and be good. I don't understand others. Don't get me wrong. Friendship gonna have their ups and downs. So I'm not hating the fact that they may have some tensions and they playing it out. My thing is, Kayla, if she understands your issue and she apologized, but she has her grievances towards you, you need to understand her side too and work on it. But if it's all about your feelings, that's gonna be annoying because it's becoming one-sided. It comes one-sided, and I start seeing it. I said, "Girl, all right, come right now. Where's the resolution?" All right. So Liv's lied about the party. So apparently, I guess they're supposed to go out and everything, and Liv said no, it got canceled, it got rescheduled, so we can't do it. So Kayla stayed home, but then Kayla saw social media with Kendall being there, and they parted up, and basically just left her friend out. And that's know what I do understand. I said, girl, I had two things. I said one thing. I would say, all right, we supposed to be going out, and you my friend. You don't have to lie to me. If you gonna go out with your man and whatnot, and go to the club, and you didn't want me there, just say you don't want me there. Because at the end of the day, listen, I'm 39 years old, and the best thing you could do is threaten me to stay home and cancel plans, because I would gladly stay. Because you're 20s, you want to go out, have a good time, ladies and your man at home. They covers for the bars and the pockets for a grown, and be jumping, right? And you be cool and everything. But when you start getting older and you got bills, you got responsibilities and like that, going down the clubs or something, it's interesting. So you could threaten me to cancel plans. That's fine. We in this state and age, we want you to cancel plans. Right? I said, oh, okay, I ain't want that go, girl. All right, thank you. We can do another thing. And we can be right in our house, chilling and relaxing. Watch my shows, playing my game, listen to my music, doing everything. Child, I have to get dressed, get up, go. Oh my gosh, I'm done. I'm good. All my entertainment is right here. I don't need to go out. So, it's fine. I'm not upset. If I'm a kid, I say, girl, fine, girl. I'm good. I wouldn't be upset. Okay, you cancel plans. We have to go. Okay, fine. I'm in my house. Thank you, boo. We talk later. However, but I do understand. Like, you don't have to lie to me. If you didn't want me to go, you don't have to say you don't want me to go. For real, right? Sure, don't threaten me staying home. That's a good thing. That's not a freaking bad thing. That's a good thing. Exactly. He don't chase. He replace. Exactly. Don't threaten me, chill. Shoot. Thank you, boo. Shot him right. Exactly. And I said, listen, y'all agree with me. Y'all agree with me. Some of y'all close to my age too, probably younger and everything. Y'all know this is what we do. It's like cancel plans is the best. Now, if we put money in and we go to trips, now don't be doing that. Don't be doing that. If we plan trips every day, that's what we need to plan in advance and let me know we plan things all so that we go and everything. Now all great and we got things together. That's fine. We all communicate. That's fine. That's different. But like a little spontaneous things around the area, you want to chill out and everything's fine. If they can cancel, I'm not mad. But you have to lie. Don't have to lie to Taylor. So I understand where she coming from about that because she said it's kind of crazy that we supposed to be hanging out and whatnot, and you tell me something and I'm home and then I see social media that you hanging out. I said, and with Kendall too. And now Kendall and Liv is like brothers sisters. They cool. They besties. Now people thinking they maybe do something more. They may be more, but I said I don't know. I think Kendall is really good friend with Liv, and they be good friends. There a lot of girls are cool with Kendall. He's messy, but he don't mean to be messy, but he is messy and whatnot. So I understand both sides and whatnot. So Kenny and Janae said they've been together for 8 months at the time. I said it's been a year, so I mean, 8 months. Okay, I guess they made official, made it 8 months because they did after the video. They didn't make official till after they got on the video, so it makes sense. Almost a year, and they're not living together, but they rented an apartment right next door to each other. And to be honest, I was like, why y'all rushing to live together anyway? Because I know Janae can ask her, she wanted us to live together. I said, Janae, don't be rushing everything. Don't be one of those girls to be rushing. You had your standards for the season, keep that standards. Don't rush into living with a guy and whatnot. And I think sometimes people would be better off in relationships if they don't live together. They realize when y'all live together and y'all have more problems than y'all was when y'all was not in the same space. So I'm saying do what you do. And me personally, I love my space here and whatnot, and I don't want to rush into moving to someone else. Eventually in the future we will, if we spend times like years, like say after 3 years or something like that, 4 years, if we want to get a place together, yeah, it's fine. But and even though, if you want to say, listen, it's like that's why I say I suspect she'll leave out for her relationship with her husband. They said they've been living separate for a while now, and they got a good marriage. And I said, hey, he got his thing, got his thing. We good, we love. And I said, you know what? I like that. I wish a lot of people were honest about that instead of acting like they had to live together. The society rubric that you had to be married, you got to have kids, you got to live together, you got to do this. It's like, why do we have to follow this whole script? Follow your own script, and as long as it's mutual between two partners, it should be fine. Don't care about what everybody else thinks. But if you listen, I just feel like Janae don't have to rush into living with Kenny. Now I know it's gonna be at this whole thing, and everybody gonna try and get at Kenny about how he feel and everything. I said, stop, y'all better stop. Don't be trying to dictate, put your own projections into it. I don't think he's really wrong about it, and I think how they spiced the figure trade up made it seem like he don't want to be with Janae. I said no, I think he still wants to. I think he just like his separate space, and I don't think it's wrong with that. I wish a lot of y'all realized that sooner, but okay, that's not me. Don't say I didn't say nothing. I'm just letting you know. They got next to each other, try to figure it out. And I mean, it's good. You can stay over there, you go over here, you can stay over there, you can stay over there. It's fine. Have two different apartments, you can store them in places, everything. Y'all have two places, it's fine. It is what it is. So Janae said she's not forgiving Connor. And he said he will talk to her, but he said, oh, you want to talk to my aunt? And everything. I said, Janae, that's not your son, but whatever. But he's still gonna go along and do what his wife, not his wife, his girlfriend wants, and not really speak to Connor because he want the peace. And I said, yes, I would probably stand by my partner too and everything. But I'm not being one of those though, oh, your beef is my beef and everything. I said, with a relationship, yes, maybe somebody disrespect you, I will stand by you. Yes, it will be like that. So yes, I will probably do how Kenny did and say, you know what, I will respect it and I won't talk to him. If you come to me, then that's a different story. But I won't talk to him. So Miguel learned to ride a horse. All right, that's right. Go ahead, Miguel, sexy ass. But Liv and Kendall talk. They are bro, they sisters, and they're good and everything. And people are confused and think they are an item. I said, I don't know. Liv got a man, so it's not Kendall. So camera situation, and then it's camera situation. So they really, I guess, they both share a camera, and then Liv got the camera, and then she lied about it, and she didn't want to share with Kayla. I said, listen, I don't understand this camera thing, but I said, Liv, you gonna not share the camera? Just let the girl. You don't want to share the camera. You got your own camera, or whatever. I said, all this little petty little messiness, This petty things going on between you and Kayla. First is the glam in his hand. Now it's the camera. I said, okay, maybe y'all problems, but I don't understand why it is a big contention in your friendship. But I think it's not much about the items; it's about much about the respect and lying to each other. And I feel like that's the issue. You don't have to lie, Liv. Why you keep lying about Tequila about things and whatnot? So LA party. I think Leah said something about let's move on from this Connor. Yeah, Leah said that. She said, "Oh my God, it's been a year ago. Can we move on from this Connor Janae thing?" And I agree. I said yes, but like I said, Janae have every right to feel. If she want to hold the grudge, it is what it is. But at the same time, Janae, don't say that he did not reach out to you when it showed that he did. So obviously, you didn't want to care about checking your DMs. So girl, stop that. Aaron and Kayla, they talk. They try to catch up. He apologized about whatever thing, but she said she felt betrayed by him. And then she said, "Do you want to go to my house?" I said, "Girl, what that?" Even Karen, Aaron was like, "I don't think it's a good idea." Because I said, "Girl, what would you applying by having him come to your house?" I mean, if you want to sit down and talk, you sit down and talk it right there. You don't have to. He don't have to come to your house. So what was all this coming to my house, girl? So you want to get your box locked? Just say it. Maybe at a moment of normal weakness, and you probably want some. You want the dang real quick. I mean, nothing wrong with you. You grown, girl. But that was kind of weird if you wanted to hash things out and you didn't like how things ended, but you tell them to come back to your house. She said, "No, obviously we can sit down and talk." I said, "We don't have to come to your house and sit down and talk nowhere. We can sit down right here." That was kind of weird. But they ended up saying we're gonna be cordial with each other and we're not gonna be back to what it was as friends and like that. We're gonna be cordial, be around, we want to be hateful and whatnot. I said that's how it ended. Good, good. So Connor and Kenny, and he said Connor felt the energy shift from Kenny because Connor and Kenny don't really have issues with each other. But it's unfortunate that Kenny's with Janae and he had to respect his girl. So he said, "Listen, you've been coming after Janae like that. You've been talking out of your side of your neck. And you did have a window opportunity to apologize. It took you so long, but it wasn't like he said, "Yeah, I apologize," and everything like that. And then he said he did slid her DMs and everything. And Janae pulled Kenny. He said, "Oh, so you talking to him and everything?" I said, "Janae, come on now, don't aggravate me this season." He said, "You talking to him?" He said, "No." He said he didn't go approach him. He approached me. Oh, he's like he approached you and whatnot. And I don't know, maybe that's what Janae was saying that she did like how they edit her because it make her seem like she was being more mean and doing the most, and she like to edit. And I said, "Ooh, don't call out the edits, y'all. You know, production don't like when you call them out." And you want to like ones, girl. Don't do that. So, because it did seem like she just being too much about it. And I said, okay. Like I said, girl, if you don't want to, it's fine. But dragging us out this whole season, please save us. And she said, "Oh no, he didn't DM me," but then she said she never checked the DMs. I said, "How you would know, girl?" So stop that. So that's the problem I like. I don't like that. So Kayla told the girls about the glam thing, and the girls would listen to her. And I said, "Kayla, listen, Liv is right there. So why are you not talking to Liv? Like, come on now." I see this. I was like, "Girl, talk to the girl. It almost be your bestie, and you can have this conversation, but you talking to everybody, bringing everybody into your problems. So now everybody listens to you, and you kept going on and getting on. And then about the glam thing, and they supposed to get glam, and they said, no, we're not getting glam, and then all of a sudden she got glammed up. And I said, oh, child. But I said, girl, what you know you're supposed to go nowhere without getting glammed up anyway. So after the day, whether they say or not, you know you're supposed to glam yourself up. But I guess she hearing to Liv's words. That's why I said, Liv, you need to stop lying to this girl and just be straight up. Like I said, I understand Kayla, but I said, Kayla, when Liv bring her grievances, you need to understand her too, right? So she think Liv is making things up in her. Like I said, how is she making things up? And she think y'all cool, but if you never address things to her, how would she know it's an issue between y'all two? Cause you are stressing yourself out, stressing us out about this Liv thing. I said, girl, you don't talk to her. She said, y'all had not been fine for months, but Liv is going around thinking y'all cool. You go to party, Liv is thinking her friends like, hey, bestie, go ahead, girl. And she said, I don't know why she screaming and going like that. You know, we have an issue. I said, did you talk to her? I said, that's why I said I can't do with this kid. Like, y'all can't. I'm trying with this girl, but she don't know about. So Liv and Kayla, they finally talk. And then they started talking about this glam and spray tan. And you didn't tell me you get a spray tan and it's a glam. I said, what? Kayla brought up the glam thing, and then Liv said, you didn't tell me you got spray tan. I said, so we arguing about spray tan and glamming, huh? I'm glad we got the melanin because we don't need the tan. We go chocolate around here. We chocolate around here. We don't need no tanning. Child. We don't have that problems. Now we be understanding for a long time. We might get darker, but understand we don't need to do no tanning. We good around here. Our melanin is popping. So they say the party got to be scheduled. She said she didn't lie about that. She said party did be scheduled. It was no party. It was scheduled. Kendall had to be there. Kendall happened to be there at the same spot that she was there. So it was not planned that, because it made it seem like that Kendall and Liv planned to go to a party and it's left, leaving Kayla out. Which outside looking at it, it may look like that. Because it's like, yeah, social media, you told me it's not going to be in a party, you're not going to be there. And I'm staying at home looking at you supposed to be around, you can chill out, and you up in the party with Kendall. I said, girl, bye. Don't try to play me. Kayla brought the camera up again. I said, and then she keeps saying that she tired of it. I said, girl, you is the one that keep bringing this camera situation up. So are you tired of it, or you stop talking about it or nothing? Because you bringing it up. We tired to listen to it. Every time you sit down, you kept bringing this camera up. I mean, you don't, if you go, don't say it's not a big deal and the kid's not about the camera and you don't care about this camera situation, but you keep bringing it up every single time. Obviously, you cared about it. But if you did hash it out in the past with Liv, and Liv already apologized for that, and y'all have moved past that, don't bring it up. That's what I don't like. When you supposed to move on and forgive someone, you forgive it. You don't forget it, but you forgive and you move past it and you don't bring it up. That's a part of healing. That's not a part of what you post. That's when you talk in relationships like that. If you want to move forward, you don't keep living the past. So you really talk about it. Y'all decide to move forward. Y'all apologize and move from that. Let it be. If you keep bringing it back up, that means you never got over it, and then you fake pretending to accept apology. And I don't like that. Because don't act like pretending you're cool with that, we all good with that, and then you keep bringing it back up. If you don't feel like you got resolved from it, let it be known. So Kendall is listening. They said, look at the Kendall, look at Kendall, look at Kendall, look at Kendall over there, look at that. He gathering tea. And then brought Janae, do y'all think they will add season 7 or next season? Do I want to watch a season 7 Beyond the Villa? Hell to no. I don't want to see no updates on them. I really care for the London cast like that. I have my little favorites. I do like Shelly. I do like Alondria, Amaya. But to see her, because you know they're gonna have her dusty behind. Oh, we're gonna talk about her stuff. We're gonna talk about her. I don't mind AIDS, but I don't know. I don't want to see no updates of season 7. But if they do it, I'll watch it, child, and see how it is and see what they give it. See what they give it. But it will be entertaining to see how Laundry and Shelly handles Huda too. Especially that everybody else follows the girl. So Janae took Kendall over, and Kendall told Janae what's happening. I don't think they will have Huda. Child. It would no Beyond the Venom without Huda. I don't want to see it, but if they do have a Beyond the Venom for season 7, I will watch it. I will watch it. Just like I said the same season 6. I could say I don't want to see it, but then I end up watching it. So it's not like it's something I'm looking forward to it, but if it comes on and I watch it with y'all, we can talk about it. I don't know, because Huda, they kept Huda for a while for the Villa in the season reunion, so they need to have her in the Beyond the Villa because it wouldn't be no sense, because she was the center star of it. So remove her, what they gonna have? Or they gonna have to have her and they can just move on. Oh, you think they're gonna keep the same cast and continue these seasons for season 2, 3 like that, and add more people? Okay, that makes sense if you think that way. Instead of making a whole different separate cast, continue on season 6 but add more people into it. Okay, that makes sense. I think they will keep season 6 and add Shelley's, Nicolandria, and Jeremiah. Okay, and they support each other. Hey Melissa, how you doing, boo? What's going on? Thank you. Huda is too immature to handle that and focus on turning on her. Yeah, focus on turning on her. I would say to bring Huda because people love entertaining and an entertaining factor. But I do understand that everybody don't really rock with her, so I don't know. I don't know that much. I'm doing amazing. I love that. This is about Love Island. Okay, glad you come. Hope you enjoy. Hope you enjoy it. And continue more because we continue to talk about here. Um, So Kendall told Janae what was going on. So he just gave every little details. I said, "Damn, Kendall, you got all the stuff." But he was there, I guess. So then they said Liv is drama. I said Liv's not only the drama. Kayla is a drama too. But I understand that Liv had some lying problem a little bit, and she was lying to Kayla about some things. But we're gonna see on with that. Episode 2, Liv, Kendall, and Janae is talking. Oh, that's about the Connor. They would say, like, listen, if he was speaking publicly, I gotta go boo with catch a replay. Okay, K2A, thank you for joining in. Yes, catch a replay. Um, I think Janae was saying that if he could publicly humiliate me, no, he needs to publicly apologize. Don't be a little private kind of apology. It is what it is. That's what Janae said. So Kendall's happy for Alana. I guess he's talking to the girl at the party. I guess he got her number, so they go have a conversation, whatever. So Connor having a birthday party. Janae is not going. It seems like the main in the core 6 is not gonna go. But other people gonna go. I said, okay, child. Whatever. What we expected Janae and Kenny not being there, but everybody else don't have to be there. Okay, I guess they go support. They go support Janae, and that's their girl. So she not gonna go. We not gonna go. I said that's right. You better stay. You better on your friendship. So Leah, Kayla, and Serena talk. Serena talk about she afraid of cats, but only know Cordell Cass is coming to live with them. I said, "Oh, child, why are you gonna do that? You gonna make her? Oh my God, she gonna get some shots or something to be around the cat?" I said, "I don't know. No man don't handle bigger than cheese. If I'm not just a cat, don't bring no cats around me. I know we can't. I know that's your cat, that's your boo, but I don't know. I don't know. It's crazy. She allergic to it, and you gonna have her around. But she said she gonna make it work. I did. I guess that's love, girl. That's love. She doing it for a man." But Leah said she do feel like at times she don't feel like she deserves him, but she said she appreciate that Miguel's her life because he gave her words of affirmation that she didn't think that she deserved or she needed and whatnot. And he's been great to her, great for her. I said yes, he did ground her a little bit and make her see a different side of Leah that we didn't see before. And I said, okay, go ahead, Leah, get back, keep your man. And you know he's cute too. I know that's right, Miguel. So they talking to Kayla, and Kayla said she talked to this guy, and it's the same guy she made out in a porta potty. Yes, Kayla was talking to this guy, and it's the same guy she talking to. It's the same guy she made out in a porta potty. Name is Kayla, and I say, huh? You know, porta potties are nasty and stinking, right? So why would you make out with somebody in a porta potty? Yeah, not even a club bathroom. At least that. At least that's a little normal. But a porta potty, girl, you that desperate? I was exactly. I said, I don't know, girl. Hope it's worth it because that's nasty. So Kayla said her friendship with Liv had been tarnished. I said, oh, not tarnished. So there's no repairing. It's that tarnished. It just happened that quickly and whatnot. So Aaron said he need time for himself and whatnot. So Serena do a commercial shoot with Cordell that we had seen about on commercial about this was Zit, and it was like a commercial for about the Zit and skincare. So you know that was a cute commercial and whatnot. And but Cordell he got a scripted series. He gonna be acting and he gonna be away for a month. And you know Serena's got you gonna have some anxiety because Cordell's not gonna be around, and he got kind of a lot of opportunities. I like Cordell. You better make your coins. You're a cute self. And so Miguel gonna ride the horse. Look at that horse. Look at that horse. Look at that horse. Prio go and natural body of force. Book it. Book it. Book it. Whoa. So it was nice and the horse like Miguel. He riding, they talking because you know Leah love horses and whatnot. And it was cute, cute bonding moment. So Janae and Kayla talk, and she said she can't trust Liv about the camera situation. I said, oh, she'll bring this camera up again. Here she go. She keep bringing this camera up, keep bringing this camera up. And so Kayla was asking Janae, she said, are you going to go into this party? She said, Janae said, listen, Kayla, I need you to answer more logical questions. Is you going to be around me? Because you know damn well I'm not going to no car in the party. So I don't know why you asking that dusty ass question. But I know that's right. That was funny to me when she said that. So Janae said she's talking about wanting a dog, but then she said she wants 4 kids for Kenny. I said, oh, you better get to going. Yeah, ain't no rush. Ain't no rush. But I said, oh, cute. You want 4 kids, girl? I said, don't ask that. You know those Spanish people hot. They give it to you, girl. They give it to you. There's that. So Aaron said he hasn't talked to a good since he left the villa. I said, oh, Chad, he really healing from himself. He said, I can't do it. I've been lying to this girl, Kayla. It was a disaster. It was too much and whatnot. So Kayla said her friendship with Liv will never be the same. Kayla follow Liv on Instagram. and whatnot. Corner party. Kayla and Liv have been going back and forth to the point they kind of like yelling at the party. And I said, listen, I don't know what the hell was going on with this friendship. I said, y'all can let this show not get to the fiction and get to the bottom of this and whatnot. Janae was trying to get them to talk to each other after the party. Kayla left. She said she over it. She don't like lies her life. Janae trying to get Liv and Kayla to talk. They trying, y'all trying to talk one at a time. Kayla say what her point is. Liv was trying to say her point is, but the only thing I didn't like that Kayla was not listening to Liv's point of view. It was all about how he said, you know how I have people in my life, and you know how my advice, and you know all this and all that. I said, understand that. And she apologized for some of the stuff that she's selling about the party thing, about the camera. She apologized. But she also said she got grievances about you or why she moved the way she moved a little bit. Now, it should be no excuse to lie to your friend. But at the same time, she said she has also got things about you that I try to come up to you about it, and you don't want to listen to her. And it seemed like she doesn't listen to it. She said she can't trust people in her life, and she know about the trust, and she should know that and whatnot. And that's our episode. And then episode 3 airs today, and we're gonna talk about that next time. We talk about what we're doing on Love Island conversation next week. Well, y'all let me know. Did y'all enjoy the first 2 episodes? Like I said, it was okay. But I just can't do it, Kayla, again. It is Kayla Liv. I hope they get back together. I don't want to see this friendship break over something so minimum and small. Even though the items might be small and everything, because it's not about the camera. You're not about the party. I think it's about the friendship, about the broken the trust. You have to trust each other. You cannot be lying to each other. Speak up. If something happened, you need to tell each other. It's up to bottom. You need to tell each other. Don't be holding it in and then break out and thinking it boils over afterwards. And it's like, yeah, y'all. And I hope they get it together. But hoping by the end of the season, they work it out and they repair their friendship and then move forward. All right, any last thoughts about Beyond the Villa before we talk about these interviews? All right, let's talk about these interviews. The dang ow. Yeah, you can get over that, right? I said that porta potty girl out there. Oh, you nasty. You're nasty, trashy, sleazy, clap. Nasty, put your clothes on, I told you, and walk out your house. You kissed the dudes in the porta potty, I told you. All right, so there's a lot of interviews, or even podcasts, if you want to say. Like I said, a lot of them was done right after they got at the villa. Exactly. And you make out with somebody in there? Like, ooh, instead of worrying about your friendship with Liv, what about your morals? Chill. Oh. A lot of these interviews and talks was done. Like, a lot of the Access Hollywood stuff was done probably when they're inside the villa. But like the ones with Kiki Palmer and the one with Call Her Daddy, the one in Villa Files, I think that all that was done a little bit right after they got out. And a lot of them had not seen the episodes and shows to see what we had seen to prepare for the interviews. So it's like very right after. And I think they should, so they can have more conversation. Hopefully they should watch it by the time the reunion comes so forward. Because I want to hear nothing about the reunion come forward. Y'all did not see what's happening. Y'all know what's going on. Then bring y'all context. Y'all need to have the context of what we have seen so y'all understand maybe why people respond the way they respond. Now, some people responded really ridiculously, but it brings perspective why we react the way we react. Some of y'all know that. So now they call her daddy Alex. Some of y'all probably listen to her more than I listen to her. I don't know. That may be her style, but I didn't like how the interview with her with Huda. She like she was fangirling too much. She like she was excusing a lot of Huda behaviors and feeding her. And she also was feeding her the information to lead her to a direction. Out of that, or her approach is to get Huda too comfortable so Huda could hang her own self. Maybe that's her approach. Because I said I don't really like what she's doing with this interview with Huda. It seems like she just fangirling and making everything lying about some things, saying things that was not true in the interviews to make Huda talk about it, to bash it. And about the Huda interview, Huda took no accountability a lot of stuff. She would say, "I apologize, but." So every excuse was every apology was a excuse. Yes. In the Vidal file, the guys stayed talking to most of the interviews. I said, who would do the interview, them or you? Because like you talk about more of your stuff. We hear more of you, Chris. That's name Chris and Vidal. Chris was doing more talking than the freaking contestants. I said, who we all we interviewing? So what how Alex was with Amaya Papaya. Okay. Okay, she's the weaker of the two. No, call her daddy to be two hosts. Okay, it was two. Oh, I didn't know. So I thought you compare it to Valal. Because I said, even Valal, he was doing a lot of talking himself. I said, oh, can we have the questions to the guys, to the contestants, ask them more questions so they can talk? Instead, you having a talk and you talking over them and they having long ass winded explanations and they ask a question and they too short and they have a long winded. That's too much. But Alex, I know her style because I don't know if her style was to do that to get her to talk because this wasn't the best. This wasn't a good interview in a good light for her to. Maybe that's how it is. Whatever. But it was different with my papaya because my papaya, she was shooting out questions, and then it gave her a chance to like really expand on things and whatnot. And like that, but with Huda, she gave her the chance to explain things more fully and things. I said, so I don't know her approach or how she was doing this, but it is what it is. So it's not gonna be in a particular order. So I'm just gonna jump around between interviews and then whatnot. But we do know that Shelly and Nicola, I keep saying it. Shelly Alondra was in Baby's Kiki Palmer. But I think they did their interview and podcast right before Huda did theirs, hers. Because if it was after, maybe Kiki would bring some things up about what Huda was saying and everything, because they don't know. I think it was right before Huda did hers. So it's like, or and it's happening around the span of just getting out the villa within 2 or 3 days. So it's a lot going on. And then also, I think they in LA. They all in LA in the house or something like that. So press tours and press releases and something like that. They had as a part of their contract. They had to do that. So I guess. But they say that yes, right after they get the villa, they do have like a therapist they talk to prepare them for the outside world, what to look into, how to handle social media, get them advice and whatnot. Because I do think they should have a therapist throughout the whole experiment, especially with shows like this, love shows. They should have therapists, psychiatrists, somebody they to talk to navigate this whole season. But when they got out, they reached out to their families mostly. They didn't really watch this episode that much. They be seeing clips, and even though in clips could be skewed to the viewers who they want to clip about. To excuse me. So Alondra was seeing some clips. She was seeing clips based on what the fans want to put together and probably skew her viewpoints about some things. But but she said she's seeing clips. But her and Shelly didn't understand about the whole Mean Girl stuff. As I said, I don't agree with that. I said at the beginning of my video, I don't believe they Mean Girls. They're not and whatnot. But they don't know where they're coming from. I said, listen, not everything on people on social media is what you need to listen to, girl. But at the same time, you do want to know what people are saying. You get a lot of love, but you might get the hate and whatnot. But we find out that Alondra was reached out since 2023. They've been with Alondra in the show. I said, no, that's right. And so she finally said yes to the season 7. I said, girl. And then Shelly was reached out last year. So it seemed like they wanted Shelly and Alondra on the show way before they got into it. So I said, okay. Especially Alondra. Now, Shelly reached out last year to be on this season. It's fine. But Alondra was reached out since 2023. So they both wanted to be OGs. They did not want to be bombshells and whatnot. Her said her interview that when she got out, she saw her phone, she see a lot of love, and she's like that. Yeah, you see a lot of people who freaking root for you, try to act like your freaking behavior was thing. And I think her that's what her like she don't want to take no accountability because she feel like, oh, my fans love me. I said, you got some delusional fans, those stands. Or that people coming at standing. Yeah, you may have people who support you, rock with you, but you have a lot of people who rock with you because they like your toxic behavior. So, girl, don't act like that's a cute thing. So now she thinks that she got a lot of people following that her actions is wanted and she's okay with that. She can get scot free. But I said, okay. Now the whole interview with Kiki, I feel like I guess Kiki has to rush a lot of things, so she only had the hours to talk to 2 girls, and I think she could have went down deeper into some things. But I think it was more of like a conversation and like a girls chat than more of an interview. And I also want to be clear, like when they saying what exactly what was shown, like you could explain it a little bit better and whatnot, Kiki, but whatever. And also Alice skewed some of the information to Huda to make it seem like it was something different when it wasn't. Well, whatever. So Shelly and Ace is happy with each other. This is why I saw Access Hollywood. They were happy with each other. They was not upset about being leaving the villa earlier. They were shocked, but they was not upset because they had their happy ending. They have each other and whatnot. They cleared the area, and I understand what's a misconception because I know people on social media was twisting things. And I said they say they cleared in the show. I don't understand why people misunderstand what they said. They said they met one time in New York outside of the club. He lived in a different state. She lived in a different state. They probably communicated a little bit throughout the DMs, but nothing went further from that because they were so long distance. So they let it be. So when they came and they saw each other at the villa, they were shocked and said, "Oh my God, I see you before. I see you before." Shelly and Amaya knew each other before because they did some photo shoots together. And they also Angelina and Maya knew each other a little bit before, a little bit, or whatever. A lot of people had some like interaction with each other before this show. So when they got together in the villa, they said, "Oh my gosh, I know you know that." But I understand the misconception. I said, "What was the misconfusion?" I said they only said they only saw each other one time, and it was DMs, and then nothing went further from that because it was so long distance, so they didn't go anything. Oh yes, I saw that. Who trying to stir it up and try and make something different and try to skew what freaking Jesse Wu said. That's not what Jesse Wu said. And that's why I hate that. That's why I said I don't. When I watch these shows, I don't go on TikTok and listen to people's views because everybody trying to have put up together and trying to shape viewers. And then people get so wrapped up in these shows, they do talking wars. And I said, why are we doing all this? Just review the show and let it be. Why are we pitting people's viewpoints, putting it together and trying to have people bash them? And I said it was too much. Good thing I'm not a big platform. I would like to get bigger, but I said, look, good thing I'm not that big. Because I said, I don't got time for people. I would have blocked people left and right. I'm not going back and forth and none of that. So they talk about the group leader thing about Ace. Ace said, "Listen, I was a very vocal person. People agreed with him, so it made it look like he was a leader because he was. People agreed with his thing, but he would be vocal and everybody was mostly mute. So that's what made it seem like he was running along things. But people was agreeing with his stance and everything. So that's how the thing moved. But they highlighted him more than highlight everybody else because he said everybody else had other opinions and stuff like that to talk about. But this is I was very vocal. They showcased him more than anybody else. It was great that Shirley was open her sexuality, and that was great for that. And they said they voted how people moved in the villa. It was no strategy. I said, yeah, right. Y'all can miss me with that. Some of y'all was kind of capping about some of that things, especially when it comes to this voting thing. I said, y'all stop playing with us, act like there was no freaking strategy. It wasn't that because y'all voting strategy was stupid. Happy to move to Villa because it was not. It never feels right. I said, mm-hmm. But yeah, when somebody give you an explanation, y'all want to explain it. Oh, because this person they explored this and this, and she had really strong connections. They wouldn't be explored. I said that don't make any damn sense, and y'all acting stupid. Y'all will eliminate a lot of people who have strong connections, and that the point of the show is to have connections. A said he was straight up with Jeremiah. He was not sugarcoating things. I said, I understand that. Okay. He said it was no hate towards the guy, but it was agreed to disagree situation scenario. Because you disagree with him for how he moved. Yes, nobody liked how Hunter and Jeremiah just closed this stuff off so quickly. And even though they've been saying they was open, but y'all was acting closed. Didn't want nobody else talking to each other. Y'all was having an issue, especially Hunter was having an issue where everybody was trying to talk to Jeremiah. And it was too much. So people didn't want to approach y'all because y'all was so hooked on each other and nobody can have y'all. So it's approach. However, that was the connection. That was the experience. I agree with y'all saying y'all couldn't approach them because they was acting closed off and everything. I agree that, granted. But once America vote them off and Jeremiah started to do things differently and try to connect and try to do the process, y'all still condemn him for doing something. I said, listen, and that's for the Andrina liked him more than he liked everybody else, and they connected each other. So it was not his fault. So it was no reason for y'all to eliminate him because he found another connection. Y'all was mad because Andrina was to give y'all a play. Stop playing. So his degree and disagree was that he felt like Jeremiah was doing the same thing, love bombing. I said, we're gonna get into that. Because I said it's not love bombing. Y'all just fall too quickly, y'all got too physical real quickly. Y'all move too fast, it's not love bombing. So they said people are there for the right reasons. I said, okay. But I guess y'all doing PR statements. Y'all doing PR stunts in these interviews. Because I said, I think when Shelly said that, Ace looked at her like, they was not right. A lot of y'all was not right for the right reasons. Y'all was there for the money. But whatever. They said girl respect the girls' code. I say y'all respect the girls' code too damn much in the season. To the point that a lot of y'all suffered because y'all didn't want to do anything. I said, listen, y'all ain't best friends like that to be going girl code. I swear to it. The reason why last season worked because everybody was quoting it and tried it. Nobody was people would be respectful, but they still explored each other. Y'all ain't had no exclusivity to the person y'all was with. Now people see that start establishing and start getting closer and start doing that, and y'all make announcements, and then people start respecting your boundaries and respecting your relationship. But it was not then. It is what it is. Some of y'all were doing good codes way too early for something like it was on one day or two. Like for example, the Bella thing. That's why I was upset. And they like Bella said she was interested in Taylor. Taylor's her type, but she didn't approach because of Alondria. Alondra said in her interview, she didn't think that she was Nick's type. Now she's seen it, it's a sign that he was really attracted to her. She like that, but I don't think she went on because she said she felt like Nick was traditional, so she didn't think that he would be interested in her. And I said, what she mean by traditional? I think I understand what she meant by that. About traditional mean that they will not date her kind. It could be a little bit odd. And I think he lived in Alabama. I said, understandable. I said, yeah, you want to be cautious by being around there, being black and like that. No, I'm not being. I'm not. No, we all know. We gotta be cautious. So I understand her cautious about exploring him. But at the same time, I think they would say they was not approaching each other because of Taylor. Taylor was like, even if Taylor knew, Nigga said, yeah, I didn't need his permission, but I want to let him know, even if he said no, I was still approached, but you didn't approach her. That's the problem. You didn't approach her. That's how I said I would have respected this Nickelodeon thing more if they would have explored each other in the beginning and not wait until that opportunity happened. Instead of knowing Nick was interested in laundry, no jump is interested. Yeah. Yeah, I would say why should be nervous. I would be nervous too. I said, nah, I don't know. Because next minute I could be missing. It's like that. And you like these type of people, I said, I don't think you would like my type. Because the way that you were from. So I understand that. I have to understand that. So, but not everyone is like that, but you have to be like that too. Because you're not, even if Nick family was okay with that, people around him might not be okay with that. Yes, don't get me wrong. We seen it. That's why I said I wanted they should have explored each other and not with this girl codes, boy codes, and step on. I said F all that. That's when y'all freaking F y'all shut that messed yourself up for the season when y'all was too concerned about other people's opinions and whatnot, and y'all wasn't even closed off. Y'all wasn't even locked in with each other. Y'all ain't even freaking in that freaking space where y'all were closed off and they said nobody can approach you. That's why I say that should have explored it. And then what everybody say. My hubby was the same way, interested, but not trying to press me when he knew someone was interested in that opportunity. I know that's right. Okay. And that's the well. But I said with this kind of environment, they should have approached each other. They should have. They were stopping each other because of other people, not because they didn't have to. So, don't be wrong. And Nickelodeon works, it will work. If they do their own pace, like I agree, I do agree they should do their own pace. And I think they should not have done it. I don't think they should do it because it pleases the masses. And that's what I feel like it's doing. I said, don't do it because of people, because of us, the Nickelodeon fans. Do it because y'all interested in doing it. And I feel like that's a part of the pressure they may be having. Because also, if it doesn't work out between those two, I need people to be okay with that. I need people not to be having these decent statements or think pieces or deep videos about Nickelodeon not working out and they kind of mess with the made a fan sad. I said, no, they should do that for their own sake, not because of y'all. Exactly. If they got rid of the girl, like they're supposed to get rid of her, then things will move differently. But no. And that's the problem. I think that's why they messed up. I think they realized that they should have not have saved the girl too many times. Because I feel like things would have been different in the villa. And she was a crash and manipulating things when it came to Jeremiah and the relationships and like that. And they got everybody being shocked and scared. And now they super focused on the girls' code and bro codes and all that stuff like that, and no one stepping on each other's toes. I said, no, y'all know the show is about. Y'all not stepping on nobody's toes. Nobody would be upset with y'all. I feel like y'all should have explored it and went with it, despite what nobody say. But you have a dusty ass person like Huda who want to crash out for every little thing. I would say, girl, bye. So that's the one thing I did like about the season. I feel like y'all should have had to, they would have had to do and not going on with this girl. Y'all should have just, I mean, next season, hope next season don't go with this girls code, boys code, love bombing, exploring, all these words that were so annoying this season. It needs to be done with that. Now to go back how it was before season 7 and do what the experiment supposed to do. And you can still be respectful for each other and still do the process. But y'all was too gung-ho about these little themes. And I effed up y'all figure experience. So the cast had no idea why Sierra left. Sierra left. They gave no explanation. They just said she left personal reasons, but they did not give the reason why she left. So they was so stunned and shocked about that. So that was that. Shelly was the one who cried the most, I think, when it comes to Sierra, because her and Sierra is so close. And Shelly also said that her and Sierra talked. Alondra had not talked to Sierra. And that's an interesting thing. I want to see, because like a big part of Nick was, and another thing, like that's another thing. I don't dislike Nick, but he was a player throughout the seasons. I'll say, I don't know. And I think he does respect and move differently when it comes to Alondra. So I seen it. And yes, he was interested in her. Because I was saying, then that's another thing. I said, you close over to Sierra. She got gone, and you did not leave with her. You stayed. So it's this big hole in your relationship. That's why I think it's good that Alondra should move slow. Because we don't know. It's like, he haven't had a conversation with Sierra. It should have a conversation, but we don't know if it's going to happen or not. I think recently he said he had no interest in it. I don't know. There's a lot of things happening. Everybody following Nick like he's a celebrity right now, and I'm good, great. And asking him about to see everything, but I don't know. I don't know if he said he not interested anymore, or he willing. We don't even know if Sierra going to be invited to this reunion. I don't think she will, but we'll see. And I don't know. Because it was a big part of Close On, even though we do know that he wasn't really feeling her like that. He was moving on to get along. That's why I said, if Sierra never left, and that's why I said I don't like, y'all should explore it and just move on with it like it was, no matter what happened. Because if Sierra had never left, will we still have this Alondra and Nick? Because at one point they said they're going to be friends. And they said they did that, even though they did regret that a little bit. But they was doing that because they were respecting, and they were thinking about they respect the person, Taylor and Sierra. They would do that to them. So even though it was against their better feelings, against what they really wanted, which was each other, they decided to say that we're going to do friends, even friends, for the sake of it. There's no romantic spark, even though there was a romantic spark between those two. They pushed that aside for Sierra and Taylor. So if Sierra never left, would he still be with Sierra? Or he would have said, or he would have did a switcheroo and shocked all of us and said, you know what? I want an Alondra. Yeah. And that's what I wanted him to explore that. He wanted Alondra. So maybe he probably would have stayed with Sierra for the sake of the show. And maybe he would have dumped her and go with Alondra. But that would be messed up, though. Because, these girls' codes and girls and shit. and they want to be friends and close to each other. They want to do my girl like that. And that now Sierra is in her Instagram posting subliminal messages about, oh, they gave me the villain edit. I said, girl, did you? That's what I'm saying. Y'all need to start watching the show instead of making some statements about a villain edit. Cause I said, Sierra, you didn't get no villain edit. You didn't get a villain edit. They show you well deserved edit. So don't be going on and say you got a villain edit, girl. You had a good edit. They spoke to your poise. You was calm. Your demeanor was good. They gave you a good edit. Now, her feelings are valid about how I was supposed to be with a man, and now he with my girl. I understand that. I understand. In the real world, some people will feel some way about that. In the real world, some people will feel some way about that. I'll say yes. Because in the real world, friendship is like, no, don't date my man. I don't care if he's an ex or not. Don't date him. That's the girl's code, right? Oh my gosh. That's a real answer. Because the PR statement she gave before, I said, that's not her. That's the PR statement. That's a PR statement. What's your real feelings? Because girl, you feel bothered. And rightfully so. Because look at, she gave her cooch box. She gave her box. You gave your box up, girl. You gave your box up, girl. Do all this for a man to lock you down. To get closed off. And you're the girl who really do half of the stuff you did. And that's the person he want. He gave the world, he showed the world everything, all that stuff, love, all that stuff, that. Girl, you give your goose box. Your 25 seconds to the 40 seconds of passion, love. All for him to be with the girl, your home girl. Sierra gave it up and he tried to get out quickly. Exactly. That's the 25 seconds of pump up. Crashing out for 25 seconds. I said, girl, you crashing out for a freaking 25 second dick? That upgrades to 40 seconds. And he decided to be with your girl. Child. So I understand what Sierra coming from. Cause I said, yeah, we can be for real, y'all. We can understand how she coming from, like how she feels something way about this relationship happening. But we all see that how Nick was interested in laundry. That's why I said like he should have explored it there and went about it. F what everybody think. F what they think and try it out. But I was saying laundry, you was all about country boy. I said Nick is not country. I mean he's in Alabama, but in country. So I was like, I would think you would be interested in Nick. But then you find out he was interested in you, and then you want to explore it. I said, oh, okay. So maybe you should have not been so blind about the country thing. But then, you know, we all grow. Sometimes we be all sticking with what we want, and then somebody show you differently. And I said, okay, cute. So that's why I say she never left. I don't know he would have stayed with her or whatnot, or he would have stayed with her, get to the finale, and then after that, they pursue Alondria. But they both say they glad to happen to do what they did in this sense and not regret what happened because it was like a written love story. I said that's cute and all, but it didn't happen like that. That only one variable didn't happen. If she ever never left, that variable would have kind of destroyed your plans. So yes, it was a nice love story written, cute and all, but now I think he should just post her. Would he still with Ciara? And why she still with Taylor? And that would be something I would be like, oh yeah, I see this happening. Let the best man or best woman wins. So that was that. You know, the letter of approval of the family and friends and then whatnot, and then the show. And I said, at the end of the day, they had a choice. When they had a choice, they said, "Oh, stay single, get home, or stay together." Stay together. They said, "Oh, it's obvious choice." I said, "That's not obvious choice. I could have went home." Especially with how they choose that. I said that was a turning point. But Sarah thought when Nick got out, she had a chance. Exactly. She had a chance, and then realized, nope, he's with Alondra. It's all about Alondra. But I said I want them to do it because they want to do it, not because we want it. And if they don't work out, I want people to be okay with that. And I want them to be okay with that. They say they disappointed because it seems like a lot of their answers and stuff like that is all because the masses want it. And I said, no, I want y'all to do it because y'all want to be in a relationship and everything. It seemed like every time it was about, oh, what she seen, what she saw, what people like, us like that. I said, oh, people. I said, no, do it because of y'all. We be okay. I wish y'all be okay. I hope the fans will be okay because y'all be acting crazy with the shows. I don't know why. But he said he really started liking Andrea because of the baby challenge and everything. It took a different light of her and letters of approval. He said he don't feel pressure about being with her. I said, good. Hope you can stand on that. Don't feel pressure. Do it because y'all want to do it. He said he's considered strongly leaving the villa because Sierra left. But then he talked himself out of it and he decided to stay. Just like Rob said, oh, you're going to send 2 people home and just stayed. And then even post the girl after the season. Like, we find out you didn't really reach out to Andrea. So what was all that for? Goodbye. So him and Laundry are there for each other. He reached out to her. He checked up on her. He constantly checked up on her. I said, okay, Nick, go ahead. Show it. Like, they have no labels right now. They continue to be slow. I said, do it slow. Yes. But the Sierra factor needs to be handled before y'all move forward because we don't know. Because we do believe he really is Andrea and he don't really have no feelings for Sierra like that anymore. But it needs to be some closure because we don't know. Because you know how these guys. Cause Nick was a player throughout this whole freaking villa, and I don't think he just changed up that quickly because he got with Laundry. And I said, "Oh, you was really to like different girls and everything." And when that girl got gone, you had to be the person. You had to man up and switch up your strategy. Nick said he goes to Jeremiah, but he hoped that they showed the clip that he thinking they would show. I said, so do you talk to producers they were going to show the clip, or you hoping they would show a clip of the reunion that you think they would bring clarity about this whole Jeremiah situation? I said, I don't know what. I don't care what y'all say. No matter how y'all try to spin, explain it, rewrite it, rehearse it, splice it, it still ain't going to make sense. Why you eliminated Jeremiah? It was no need to eliminate her at that point. It's no point. So any explanation y'all give is not gonna make any sense to us. Hence why I vote America got their last word by getting each one of y'all out before the reunion, before and not make y'all win the money. Abaya and Brian did. I mean, it's like I got a lot of those. I ain't know what all this. All right, let's get to this Huda thing. And we're gonna explore more about the Shelly and stuff like that. No, let's get on the Shelly. I mean, oh, so bad. We got some big monkey on Huda. The Shelly and Landria and Kiki Palmer. Yeah, Shelly just said she really likes Austin when she was on the toilet. She realized she likes him and everything because Austin's a nice guy. He's cute and everything and wants like that. She said Shelly felt like she won. She her person. She like that. And they didn't know the time. It was a villa time and whatnot. But they did say the most insights about the Taylor. They said Taylor was very responsive. He makes sure all the ladies' orders was right with the tea time and everything, coffee and all the drinks. He was very attentive to the ladies. He was very respectful. And he would do a lot of that. So they thinking that he was a stand-up guy and he was great. And yes, maybe he is that type of person. He is very respectful. I don't think Taylor is like this player. But I don't like how he just went about it. They say he was very attentive. So they didn't really see this thing that how he just switched up or whatnot, or even think any of it. That's why Laundry was like, he was showing, he was holding hands, he was being attentive, he was doing things, or some stuff that we didn't see. Because what we were seeing, it seemed like he barely was putting any effort, and he had to be forced to put effort by Ace because he was not attracted to Alondra. He liked Alondra, but he was not attracted to her, so it can't force him to be an attraction. He maybe could get there, but no, it was not sparking there. So the fact that they say that, it was interesting. But Laundry did say that she would not go so hard for Taylor if she knew that he was not attracted to her. If she knew that, she wouldn't have been so hard. That's what it was like, okay. But then it was like, girl, you should know his actions was not lying to his words. But then again, we don't know. We haven't been there 24/7 like they are. So she may be seeing things differently and what we had edited to see. It's like that. So I cannot not the experience that she's going for, and I don't want to put the blame on her for Taylor's inactions. We all say Taylor should have spoke up and say something. And we're not mad that he found a connection with Clark. It's fine. This is part of the process. And even she said that she's not mad at that he found a connection. She just didn't like how he went about it. He should have been honest and straightforward. So, if he would have said it, she probably would have been so hard about it. But yet, we had to blame Taylor Zucker. You struggling this girl along until you find your connection. Do all this stuff. When Jada came in, that was a threat. And I wish you would have gave Jada more a chance, too. You found a threat. So you were stepping up and trying to mask it. Like you stepping forward, you doing this, and you wanted this girl, and they got Jada or for you to still go back to what you was doing. Boy, bye. He was. Because he was moving weird. He had to move weird. He didn't have to move weird like that. He could have been straightforward. Oh, this is about the Ace boundaries. And this is another thing. I would say, so that's why I say this. That's why you need to watch the show and see how we were seeing it. Because y'all would understand where we're coming from. Because I knew Ace was full of bullshit about this Amaya thing. Because I said, at the end of the day, he was not act like somebody who didn't want to be touched, who very slow burn about things. He may not want to have sex with you, but he's not someone who said he didn't want to be touched. Because he's like, he was touching Shelly all the damn time before he got with Maya. So all of a sudden, he got to sit down with Maya and just, the minute they stepped down, he said, don't do this, don't do that, don't, I don't like that, don't touch me, don't kiss me, don't do that. I said, what the hell was all that for? And what the hell did she do for you to say all that? So Shelly said she didn't understand why everybody was saying that, because she said Aces go around hugging people, he was touching everybody, he was that person. He was affectionate, lovable person. So the fact that you go about this no touching, no boundaries thing, it kind of confused her, and because it's like he was not like that. So, what the hell happened for him to do all this thing with Amaya? He switched up. If that's not the type of person he was portraying, he switched up. Hence why Maya was so stunned about it. Now, Maya have her own thing that she had to work on. Yes, we all say she cry and stuff like that. She comes strong sometimes. She needs to let people chase her. We fine. We got it. She's very passionate. That's part of our culture. We got it. However, with that whole thing with her and Ace, we feel like it was nothing that she did so far that made him do all that. I think he did that because he wanted to shut it down because he know he always wanted Shelly. That's what he would say, why the fuck you didn't pick Shelly? So he was playing games a little bit. He picked Amaya just to shut her down so it won't be any further interaction with her. He did that because he always wanted Shelly and he wanted Shelly to be the end goal. So he did that to shut her off, to get her confused, to make her mess up, to make her crash out so he have a reason to continue on with Shelly. I said, you had to do all that. That's what I said. I didn't like that. That's what I said. You had to see what we see because the minute that he sat down with Maya, he just went off with the no boundaries thing. I said, you was like this and you touching everybody, you hugging everyone. Why the fuck you act like she can't hug you and do anything, go a babe or stuff? After a while, he said he understood Amaya and him and Maya was cool and they hashed it out and whatnot. So he after having a conversation, they sit down, they talk, and they re up thing. I said we didn't see this. That's why y'all cut a lot of shit out. You could have gave us some context about how they move forward because it's like, come on, we could at least see the resolution. Not wait till the finale for him to apologize. Which I said like he should apologize too, but whatever. Shelly with her man 24/7. I know that's right, girl. But don't be smothering. So I did explain about the how they went against their own better judgment. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They never showed it. That's what I'm saying. If he apologized, they never showed it. And I wish they would have showed us that so we could see that they moved forward and past that. Because I was saying, why she had to apologize when he the one who messed it up first. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, she crashed out. She was doing a lot. You was in love with a violent ace. You were guffing out a lot of niggas. You were guffing out. And she was doing all that. Yes, we understand, but we understand how she crashed out with color ace. We didn't like how she did that to Shelly. Now that's the thing we went on about her. We berated her for that. I said, girl, calm your ass down. They didn't know why Sierra got removed. They both said that. Shelly was the most quiet about it. Shelly and Sierra did talk a lot. So Shelly gave her explanation about the girl's girl. Very well said. I said, okay, yes, it's cool. It went now. But y'all need to next season. Hope y'all don't go on this girls code thing so heavily, and y'all just ruin your experience. Now the hot white challenge. This is the thing I think that they failed to play because I said, Kiki, you kept talking to him damn much. I want you to ask Shelly what did she see that made her so upset because we didn't see it. Now a lot of contestants get on the show and say that Huda pretty much had her ass in Coop's box and freaking Ace's face. And I would say that. Huda, on the other hand, said, no, I didn't do that. I had my freaking booty. First, she said what she did was she was licking him from, I think, from the crotch to the chest or whatnot. That went too far. But no, when Alex explained to her what we see, that you turned around and your ass was towards his face and it cut off. So we didn't get to see that. And she said, oh no, I had my ass on his freaking chest. I just glanced and I wasn't near his face. But everybody said Hula knew she was wrong and she wanted Ace just to piss off Shelly. Yes, she did. She did. Because her obsession with Shelly was really weird in this interview. If you listen to what she was saying and whatnot, especially of course when she was talking about Chris and everything, I said, who's the one my eye was towards? Because the only person he was really interested in was Shelly. So that's what you were mad about? Shelly? Mm-hmm. That's what I said. I want to say, what did he say? Because everybody can explain. I wish I said, can you explain what was done? And I hope the reunion y'all could not show. If y'all don't show us, at least have the contestants tell us what exactly she did. Now everybody's saying is she had her ass in the face, so that's what it is. That's what it is. Hood is wrong. But I said, listen, Ace is a fine little piece of man. If I were on there, I said, yeah. Fight me. Just like the Hula would probably fight me when I was a double figure Jeremiah. I would have been like, hey. I wanna bounce it, bounce it, bounce it. I'm gonna bounce it, ride it, kissing. Now I won't put no ass in her face because I said that's too much. But listen, don't do me. I'm just having fun right here. But hey, I got the little touchy, feelings. If that's my opportunity. But yeah, if she had put her push box and her ass in the face and doing all that grinding in her face, yes, that was too much. That was too much. No, it definitely was too much. But Shelly said she don't understand why people feel like she was so wrong about her reaction. I don't think that people was wrong. I mean, was upset about you feel something way about it. Now, Chris said something, and I think am I and somebody say that everything. But before that heart rate challenge, they all talked to say, "Listen, it's a challenge. It's anything that's off limits." Nobody said no, and they said, "Is any boundaries need to be set forward and whatnot?" Nobody said anything. No, they all for it. So when they got to the challenge, they understand where the boundary thing came from. It was everybody agreed there was gonna be no boundaries. They just go with it. I say y'all need to be to stop lying to each other if y'all feel like there's a boundaries. Even though I think if they really agreed that there was gonna be no boundaries to the heart rate challenge like that, but I do feel like she should have stated that should have had been a little more coof. Even if they discuss it. Now I do go on one side. If y'all say it was no boundaries, nothing like that, then all of a sudden it's an issue. I have a problem because we had this discussion before, and we all agree it was nothing off limits. However, even though it's still a matter of respect, because you would have crashed out with freaking Jeremiah. That's why I say I don't give a fuck what Hulda was saying. Because if I was thinking somebody, I would have dubbed hell on. You remember what I did? Fuck out of here. We would have to fight. Nah, I ain't fighting for the end. Or whatever. She would have to argue because I would do what I had to do. But yeah, so you were too much, and you were too far. And I said, yeah, she had the right. She had the right to be upset. She had the right to be upset and whatnot, like that. But I feel like a boundary should be established. A lot of y'all was doing the most in the challenge, so licking toes, licking the one outside. I said y'all were doing the most. But so let's reciprocate because she said with the whole Jeremiah thing, and I said, you know what? She didn't make point. She didn't make point because when everybody was trying to do Jeremiah, they were being respectful for you, and they was doing that because of you. But now because it's your turn, now you want to act all crazy. Yeah, they all said it was also with Huda and Jeremiah. I should let Huda go home too. Shit. So Laundra and Clark thing. Now the whole edits about this Clark being shady and stuff like that thing. The only thing I could say, because I don't feel like Clark was being that shady towards Alondria. I ain't gonna front. That's my opinion. The only thing I could say that it was something when I think she mocked Alondria when they said "Good morning, Islanders," and she said "Good morning, Islanders." So I was like, "Oh, you being shady, girl? Why are you doing all that?" And then when she smoked about the smile, I said, listen, I don't care. If she happy, she got picked. She happy, got picked. I mean, anybody would happy got picked. I mean, I don't take nothing about that. I can say Alondra a little shady too, a little bit. I think sitcoms could be shady on all ends. The testing and all that stuff, and trying to downplay the relationship and all that stuff. I think that was freaking shady too. I mean, if you would say that, man, I think a lot of comments was being shady. I can say one or two occasions I can think that Clark would be shady, but not to the extent that people edit Clark edit things and made it seem like she was that much shady towards her. That's why she needs to be watching the clips. She need to watch and see herself, and maybe she agree or not. Because I feel like Laundry felt like she was doing some motion. She feel like she was better than Clark too. And maybe her issue was more towards Taylor, and she took it out on Clark a little bit too. But at the end of the day, it was a competition, and everybody was in their feelings about some things. But she said I wasn't like that with her. I said we could see some things that you were saying, things that were shady towards her too. However, yes, that's what I'm saying. Don't be wrong. But she should have did that on Taylor, not get her like a clip. That's what I'm saying. The girls, they can have the little cattiness with the towards each other because of a man. That's what I'm saying. I wish the girls don't do that. I wish the girls don't do that. Because we all know the guy's the problem. And that's why I said Taylor was messed up for that. Because you were pretending. You was pretending to do so much. That's why Alondra crashed out the way she did. And that's why I think people saying, damn, Alondra, you should see the sign. Like, he was not giving you much. Because I feel like he wasn't. However, he should have told you that he wasn't. Sorry, y'all. He should have told you he wasn't interested. He should have been upfront with you and not try to make it seem like he could still work with you and stuff with Clark if his mind was made up. So it was all on him. I said, listen, don't be stringing me along. That's why she should have explored other people's collections too. And that's why I feel like Nick should have explored her in the beginning too. So we're gonna be going through all this one-sided thing. That's why I feel like this thing was messed up because everybody was so closed off a little bit. It just made this whole thing getting dragged that boy. It was nobody was stepping on the toes and boundaries. Yeah, and Taylor, like she said, Taylor was doing a lot of things for her, and not knowing that he was attracted to her. She said she wouldn't have been going so hard if she knew that. That's how I know that's right. They said they love Amaya. I said I love Amaya too, girl. Shelly said she never cared what people think. She lived her truth. I know that's right, girl. Because you represent a community. Because she fluid. Go ahead, represent the community, girl. So she said production don't tell them anything from the outside. I said I don't think they should. They want to keep y'all in the loop. They want y'all to be so focused on what's happening so they can move differently based on what they was saying outside. So keep them in the loop. But they said no one's moving inauthentic. I said I don't think so. Some of y'all was. But y'all want to keep your PR answers, go ahead and keep it. But they say the America was tripping the ratings. I think America was tripping when it comes to that rating thing. However, they was tripping a little bit. But some of y'all was tripping with y'all voting. Shelley said Hood had no reasonable response to the Stay in Your Business challenge. So she didn't really care. I said, no, that's right. She didn't really have nothing. Anything else I was missing? I'm gonna say that. Oh, it was the only hour, so I guess Kiki can't really have much to say. But Kiki was doing a lot of talking to her. I said, girl, ask some questions, let her talk more. But since they didn't look at everything, so it was hard. So she had to fill in the blanks and whatnot. But Alondra did say something. She said, listen, if you go compare with someone who is natural, not someone who did a lot of work. So I said, who is talking about? Because the same conversation was about Clark, about it being shady and stuff like that. They had little shady moments and the edits and everything. And she didn't realize how some things that Clark was saying shady. And I said, yeah. And at the same time, she may feel like you was being shady towards her. But then they switched it into, if you go compare me with someone natural. Because I'm like this and I'm this, I own me. I intimidate people every time I walk in the room. It's like that. So I said, last time I checked, I don't think Clark had any work done. So I don't know if she told the Clark or she told about Huda. I don't know. Or she's speaking in general. I think she was speaking in general. But people was speculating who she was talking about. But she said there's no competition, there's that. I said, oh, no competition with who? There's always competition. Let's be for real. Because you could be the baddest person in the room. It still could be some competition. But I love the confidence though. Because I do like that. I said there's no competition. I'm who I am. Somebody gonna like me who I am. But there's always competition. Oh yeah, I do want to say a little bit about the Janae interview with Kiki. I don't think it was much, but it was something that she said about the production would suggest something, but you don't have to do it. Because they did say they wanted her to do something and she was not doing it. And I guess it was something that she said about they was only her to fight the Castle Girls. I said, why we have to do all that? Y'all know how I feel about that whole thing. I said, at the end of the day, you OGs girls is fine. But the freaking being pissed off and being mad at the Castle Girls when they did the same reasons that y'all here for. And yes, they probably be too open and willing to be in a relationship and jump on the guys, but it's the guys make decisions to bring them back. So if you have an issue, you should be an issue with the guys. And I don't like how girls go after the other girls because of the guys. I don't like that. I hated it. I hated it then. I hated it now. So all this talk about that they were almost going to fight the girls. I said, what for? What for? And what was the fight for? She said a lot, but all I would say they would come to blows. I said, nah, I ain't like that. I ain't care for it. Oh yeah, she did talk about she didn't know about Kenny cried, and I guess she realized afterwards that he cried, but she did not realize he cried. And she said she was ready to go. And even though she on him and Kenny only been knowing each other for like 4 or something days, but she still had that strong reaction about him bringing somebody back. I said, girl, it wasn't even that long for you. I was like, okay, fine. I ain't gonna rehash all that. I already said all I said about that. That thing I feel like y'all was too pissed off. Y'all was so focused on their connection. Y'all should just did the experiment like the guys did the experiment and shake this shit up. It is what it is. Don't get mad. I wish the guys stayed on their business and not forced to like figure little cowards they are. And so y'all brought the girls back, staying on it. And whatnot. But Janae is an entrepreneur. She did a lot of businesses and like that. So go ahead, girl. You better do it. All right. Huda. Let's get to that Huda thing. I've been talking. I said, oh, I've been talking. People say, oh, Sam, is you talking today? And that's right. Like I said, Huda just call your daddy business. Call her daddy with Alex. Like I said, I didn't like the Alex interview strategy when it came to Huda because she didn't really make Huda accountable a lot of things. I guess she let Huda talk. I think that was her probably her strategy. But then you feel like she was fangirling. She was fangirling for her. Like she was really like a Huda HQ. Low key Huda HQ. And she was like really living for what Huda was saying. I said, girl, bye. Get the fuck out of here. Or you just let her hang herself. So that was her strategy. You did a well job because people didn't really like it. Huda said she overwhelmed in a good way. She said she only good with people that she was close to when she got out, and that's who she close to. That's it. And she said she don't pay the comments any mind. I said, girl, you do pay the comments any mind, but you seem like you figure gung ho about what they're saying, and you kind of gravitate to your head. Huda is cute. Let's get the F out of here. So she got split custody of her baby daddy and whatnot. But she did explain her upbringing, and I sometimes it brings a perspective how people move the way they move, and brings you have explanation on how they move. However, it does not give you an excuse. It doesn't excuse their behavior. It may explain their behavior, but it doesn't excuse their behavior. And when you get older, you need to start working on that. So the whole about that, she growing up in a violent household, seeing her mom being abused and that. I think she's trying to apply something with her father, but she didn't really say what exactly was. But she said she just been terrified of him, and she had to think around his door and everything. And to this day, people didn't believe her when it comes to the father. I said, what they didn't believe. But I know sometimes families do not want to believe what you say about their own person, family, especially they think they're high value, especially when it comes towards a man. So that's it. I said, oh, okay. But she said she'd be bullied in high school and whatnot, and because she said she got bullied because she could sing good. Listen, I'm just saying what she say. I don't believe. I ain't gonna say if I believe it or not, but I'm just gonna say it was believe. But I'm not gonna take away from the fact that she talked about her childhood. Like I said, I wasn't there, so I cannot say she lying or not. But it does place some unhealed wounds that she needs to work on. So she said she haven't talked to her father for years. It went on. But she's been in her school. She said being herself, many things trigger her. And at one point, she didn't want to be here. And she said they said things about race, her weight, her physical, a lot of things they said. And she started doing social media. People were full of herself that she started to sing well, and people were bullying her because she could sing well. I said, why people will bully you if you can sing? Okay. And at one point, she got up and stand up to the bully. She said, y'all wasn't even funny, and walked away, and that's that. So the bully ended because she said that? I guess. She talked about her baby daddy. Her baby daddy was so lovey dovey and whatnot. She moved fast with him. I said that's probably a freaking theme of her life. She moved fast. I said, girl, stop moving fast, then you won't have this issue. She moved fast so quickly. Say he cheated. He goes over to be married. She got pregnant, and he cheated when she was doing her pregnancy. Now, no, the baby daddy coming out and saying that he did not do that. So I said, I don't know. She got on this platform, and you know sometimes her look a lie. So she got on her platform and whatnot. So we're gonna know the truth or not. It's his words against hers. But we do know it's a toxic relationship. It seems like she loved to thrive in toxicity in her relationship. That's her one of the things. If it's peaceful, she don't like it. She needs to be toxic, and I can see that. So Huda said she always wanted to do Love Island, but she never watched the show before. I said, no, you need to stop playing. So why you want to get a Love Island if you never watched the show before? Don't do that. You don't get on a show that you really want to be in. Love Island been on for years. You don't get on it if you didn't know what the hell the process is a thing. That's when you say, "Oh, I didn't know the process. I knew that." I said, "You're full of it because you have to watch the show before you get on it." No, you don't have to, but you should have watched the show before you get on it, and I think you did. So don't act pretending you didn't know what the show was about. Goodbye, get out of here. So so if you didn't watch the show, why you always want to be an OG and on the bombshell? I said, "Girl, stop playing." She said she used to be Lum Bomb. She's very lovey dovey and stuff like that. But she said she was intentional. She waited, so she wanted to get some. I said, fine, whatever. However, no, in the real world, I think you should say that straight up and let people fall and then ask their man because it does seem misleading that you will have people get fall for you and then tell you you're a parent. No, she was terrified. But if you're proud to be a mom, you shouldn't be no terrified to telling people you are a mom. That was your whole thing and persona. I'm a mom. 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 Right? Terrified. Tell them right away. How about this whole attractive and everything? They both have faults. They move too fast. They definitely did. She wants the man. Remember she said she liked the man to be really obsessed with her. I said, girl, that's not cute. That's not cute. You get the man who was really obsessed with her and then obsessed with you, and that's gonna be a turn of a good love story. Okay? I'll tell you that now. So it says scared. She's so just her explanation. Her explanation was she was scared that people will be doubting their relationship. So she get possessive with him. So they played up as a real couple. So you were scared of they doubt you scared of they were doubting your relationship. So you played up as a real couple to be them so they could understand that you have a relationship. I said, "Good, that don't make any sense." So I said, "Good, so why the name call him?" Her interview was, yes, there. Exactly. So I said, why the name calling then? Why are we doing all this name calling and calling people bitches and stuff like that? Like they, if you scared people doubt your relationship. So she said she thought that a bombshell, when she was calling everybody bees and everything when it came to Jeremiah, she thought that bombshell was there to break a relationship. They should have known and like that. And I said she didn't learn. She had to learn. I said, girl, you know exactly what they was there for. You know exactly what the bombshell that was there to do. So don't act like you didn't know what the hell was going on. She legit had someone who was interested and wanted a relationship. But because she couldn't outdo Shelly, she messed herself up. Yes. Yes. Exactly. She had somebody who influenced her and wanted to work with her. But no, she could not get over that. She could not. Because also, it's like she also can't fathom how she did all this for a man, giving her cooch box, getting her goodies, and having sex with everyone, and get the bare minimum. But someone who didn't give up their goose box and being themselves and being who they are, looking great, and got everybody walking hand in foot for her. Yeah, she was like she was low key talking about. She was low key. She was definitely talking about Charlotte. How everybody can want her, and I'm giving up myself. It's not giving up your good box. That's why. It's not making it so easy. She felt like none of the guys liked her. I said none of the guys like her because of how you are. Because how you are. There was a big conversation about Huda Jeremiah. It was a big topic of conversation. She said she said Ace's concern was valid about her and Jeremiah moved so fast and then closed off and act like that. She said she did really like Ace. I said, "Ooh, you did?" She said she got mad because she wanted him to do things. He agreed, and then he didn't do it. So that's what got her upset. I said, "Oh, that was agreement, I guess. I guess." She like taking care of her partner. She don't like when people talk about their business. I said, "Okay, girl." She said when she got split with Jeremiah at first, she said she was fine, but then she had a panic attack because she felt like she failed. And then you turn around and make it seem like it was his fault why y'all split up. And said maybe see something that he was doing. So I said, no, it was between y'all two. They want to split y'all because they ain't like y'all two together. It is what it is. Point period. Jeremiah had not checked up on her. I said, yeah, I agree. We did say that he should have checked up on her, but at the same time, maybe he was scared because he said, listen, I don't know. Every time we try to talk to you, you spin things around, girl. He was probably afraid. And she also crashed out because she said she felt like she was losing. And because he was winning and moving on and getting an accolade, she was losing, she was crashing out. She said, "Oh yeah, crash out." And then you know what? She said to explain her actions. She would say, "Yeah, I apologize. I take accountability, but I said this, but I said that, but I said if you got to keep putting but, you not apologize. You not apologetic, girl. You didn't apologize. You didn't take no accountability for nothing. Now, accountability does not equal apology. I would say that. However, she didn't take no accountability because she would explain her actions away. Everything was somebody else's fault and not hers. Oh, yeah, my crash out, everything. This was it. The name calling, I could, it was a bitch. And everybody call it bitch. It's like, there's no big deal. And Alex said, oh, yeah, no big deal. I said, if y'all can think about this crash out, nothing. What about UK? I said, F out of here. Don't play. Nobody watch no UK like that. And I will watch season 12, though. But nobody watch UK like that. But I said, no, don't try and downplay her crash out. I said, that's why I was like that Alex, the interview with Alex, I didn't like. I didn't like her because she started being fanboying. And I didn't like how she was doing. And like it was no big deal. No, her crash out was problematic and to be called out as such. And make it seem like what she's doing. Oh no, that's why. That's my personality. Make it seem that's her personality. She talk like that. She's like that. She crashed out. That's her personality. That's who I am. It's like it's no big deal. Not, like she trying to make it like it was a light. I said, girl, no. She thinks she was love bomb. I said, how? And I said, I wish people call her. I said, listen, can we go to the reunion and have the real definition of what love bombing is? Explain the definition of love bombing because y'all all are not using it right. You moving fast with Jeremiah was not love bombing. If both y'all dusty, freaking fast ass got together in a relationship and having sex and move so quickly and then think of anything else. Because y'all physical, lustful. That's not love bombing. Love bombing is a manipulation tactic of someone who really don't like you like that, but they will. Yeah, she would say love bomb. She would say love you by most of the time. She said, "Oh, that's my." Then she said, "Oh, that's my love. That's my love language." I say that. That's why I just say that all the time. I love you by. I said, "Girl, stop trying to explain it, girl. You know it's wrong to say that. That's not no explanation." Manipulation tactic, where someone will get you wrapped up by over expressive, by over affectionate, by overly doing things for you and everything, get you wrapped in to the point that once you end, they switch up on you and they turn. That's my little definition, but it's a more in-depth definition. But that's what love bombing generally is. They get you in, they wrap you in, they probably say love you a lot, they be over affection, they be all this attention to you, get you wrapped up thinking that they all in for you. But once you in, they flip the script on you. And now you don't know what happened. That's love bombing. It's a psychological thing. It's something. It's really dangerous. It's like that. Jeremiah wasn't doing that. Once he got split up for you, he continued to move on to the next thing, everything. He didn't just get you wrapped in and just switched up on you because you got walled in. That's not what he was doing. She was excited for Castle Moore. She was her first chance. She said she wanted to get to know everyone. She brought Chris back for the both of them. So no one talked to her. They see both ends. He brought her back for the both of them. And I said, yeah, she did explain it to Shelly that she brought her back for her. That's just the one thing I didn't like. I said, Shelly, you didn't understand. Like, girl, you just okay with that. So she brought it back for both of y'all and everything, whatnot, or whatever. When she did she go too far, I explained what the hell happened. She said that she was licking his crotch to his chest, but then when they showed that, she turned around. She said, "Oh no, I had my ass in face. It was on his chest. It was not like that. I knew it was." That's a girl. Everybody, and most of them saying that you had your ass in his face and you was squatting in his face. You went too far. So this whole about this Chris thing, Chris in the bed, no, Chris about this whole public and private. I said, listen, at the end of the day, you don't make no sense. Because at the end of the day, if you is having sex in a room with the guy, in a room with everybody else, that's still public, even if you under the sheets. You didn't get out the room with him and go to Hideaway or Speak Easy or Soul Ties and have sex with him. You did it in the room with everybody else. Well, everybody could basically say they could hear y'all. To both, even though my device did say that they had earplugs, but they could still hear the sex going on. So the earplugs ain't really doing much. So you was having sex with him in public, even if it was under the sheets. So if you get out of here and say, "Oh, I don't want to do that," but then you say you didn't want to do that because you try to move differently because they judged how she was with Jeremiah and whatnot. So she tried to move differently. So she didn't want to kiss him in public. But then she starts explaining why she didn't want to kiss him in public. He would kiss him in public because he had a wandering eye. He talked about other girls in front of him. I said, well, what other girls he was talking about? The only girl he was interested in was Shelly. And the wandering eye was Shelly. That's the only person he was talking. You brought him back for her and you. So what wandering eye did he have? Girl, you full of it. Now Alex lied because he's saying, oh, he told you shut up too many times. I said, well, how many times he did shut up? And how many times he talked to her? He said, oh, he boasted and bragged that he had sex. I said, the only person he really talked to was Brian. And I think he also said to Ace, too. He talked to Ace and Brian about it. But he wasn't boasting around to everybody in the villa like that. And I said, it was no boasting if they knew you was having sex. You in the same room, they knew y'all had sex, so it was no boasting if y'all was in the room having sex. Like Hannah was imagine she go around saying, why y'all boasting? Why you bragging that? Why Pepe bragging about we having sex? I said, girl, they see y'all, you spit in your cooch and spit and put freaking loop the dick up. Pepe was smashing the blondes. They see y'all having sex. They see him and Nick having sex. So it's not like boasting about having sex if they could tell y'all was having sex. Every freaking night, you and Jeremiah was having sex, or freaking Deacon. But then you gonna say, "Oh, we wasn't going all the way." She said they were both Chris and Jeremiah. Oh, they wasn't all the way. So you were having sex, but you wasn't going all the way. But you crashing out for what? Goodbye. But then she tried to apply. I don't know if she tried to apply that his dick was so small or something like that. But she said it's not like I couldn't take it, and now he was all the way in. He could have given me illness, not because I couldn't take it. I said, so what? Is it a small dick or he had a big? I said if he was a small dick, he shouldn't have no problem going all the way in because it's small. Goodbye. It was big that he was going to win. So you trying to downplay the sex? Goodbye. Get out of here. And she kind of bashing him a lot. And Chris interview, Chris was not doing much bashing. Like he was trying to defend and protect her and try to be low key PR with his answers would come with her, but her had no problem going off all by him. And I said, Chris, don't you dare ever in your life get in your finger platform and downplay your sister again off of this dusty ass trick. I said it. Don't you dare, Chris, do that again. Your sister was defending you. And you're getting your platform and Chris and allow platform and then condemn your sister. F out of here. He lost major brownie points with that. I didn't like that. Turn me off. Turned me complete off when he said that. Oh, she was wrong. I know she wasn't wrong for nothing. Like I said, I didn't like that interview with Alex and her because it's like Alex was doing too much. Chris' interview, he said he do basketball. Oh, yes. Yes. That was Val. Yes, that whole thing about the bed thing. At the end of the day, you coerce him and count him down that he better do this with you. You better have sex with you, something like that, or you're going to have a problem next day. Count him down. If you don't do it, we're going to have a problem. That's coercion. When you coerce somebody to do something with you, what that call, y'all? And she said, oh, no, it's not sexual, son. It's not that. I said, yes, you were. Because you count him down and tell him he needs to cuddle with you and do something with you in the bed, or it'll be a problem. Or he was, I said, I'm okay with them. He was sleeping now. If I'm in the bed and I'm tired, and we only get 3 or 4 hours of sleep, according to Chris and them, they don't get that much hours of sleep. So I said, yes, no, I'm going to be grumpy too. I don't care. I ain't going to sleep straight off. Like once you lay on the bed, you don't go straight to sleep automatically. It takes a while to go straight to sleep. So I'm in the bed. You bothering me in the bed, telling me I need to do this and cuddle with you, and you count down 3, 2, 1, like a freaking dusty puppy in a child, and I don't cuddle and sleep with you or whatever like that. It's gonna be a problem next day. That's coercion. That's sexual assault. That's sexual harassment. Y'all can call it however you want to call it. It's coercion, and coercion is part of sexual assault. So you better stop playing. For them to try to laugh it over, playing like that's what she's doing. He said, "Oh, he wasn't sleeping. He wasn't going there." I said, "Get the f out of here." That's why I didn't like that interview. Because I said they were both fangirling, and I didn't like that interview. I didn't like it. And try to say it never happened. I said, what we see that she counting down, trying to talk to him and tell him he needs to do something. Because if he would do that to her, we would have had a whole piece of statements. He said he respected Brian and kept it real. He said they had 3 or 4 hours of sleep. They don't have really much connections. That's what he was so emotional when his family came. Everybody was emotional when their family came to the villa because they didn't really have much interaction with this. They don't have no media. They had no TV. They had no phone. They only have each other for 24/7 each day. They have meal breaks in between. And even when they go in between the breaks, they really don't talk to each other during breaks. They eat their own private time. So it's like, okay, so the only time they really interact with each other is when they film and they talk. So he said he was respectful because he got raised by women. I said, okay. He said he learned to be avoidant. He hate going in circles. And he had to address things to the present and have to talk about it the right way. He wasn't big on reality TV. He said the casting was changed this year, so it was different. He said he realized that Shelly was more into Ace, so he used to fall the back. He said, "Long she shouldn't did what she did about telling the kiss, but he understand why she did it." I said, "I already explained about that." I said, "At the end of the day, I don't think she should have said that, but it is what it is." Was it tripping? Oh, this is what he saw. He's saying, "Oh yeah, the Hood of Jeremiah, it wasn't really true to her when it comes to Jeremiah." No, that's her. That's her. That's her. You could downplay it however you want to downplay and try to pretend this protect this good bitch image, but that was her. So I would say that. That was her. Her logic with the PDA don't make sense. Could have contradicted herself. She was contradicting herself. She was definitely contradicting herself. He was cool to her, but just be friends. Huda was doing the most of the baby challenge. Yes, she was. He said it was her decision to be a friendship. He said he still wanted to work. And he said what he said they cut out is that he did tell her that he would still make it work and work on the relationship and everything. But she would take it so long and he could sell that she was thinking something and he wanted to say it and come out and figure out her mouth. Even though he went his own, but it did make it seem like I said, if you already know the answer, why you just don't say it yourself and let her and end it? Just end it. But then we don't know that it would have been a whole different story. Everybody would have attacked him. Because at the Hood HQ was ready to freaking fight. Power Rangers go. Go ahead, y'all. He want to get to not to hate anymore. So he said right now they can be cool and he got to get to hate so to be around her to be friendship. It was not. But I didn't like how you condemned his sister. I hate it. I didn't like that. But Maya Papaya, not much more Maya. Maya says she's cool. She enjoy. She's well, hold up. Let me see what she gotta say. Her sister was gangster. She explained her sister gangster explanation. She grew up in Brooklyn. I like Brooklyn. She said her love language. She like to go out, hang out with girls. She like tall, tatted, strong men, and that's right. She said Lamani does a lot of self affirmation that we've seen in the show. She said it was very hard for her becoming as a bombshell, but she made her way, paved the way, and she said Asa was very outspoken. She was saying that Ace feel like Jeremiah wasn't there for the right reasons. And Maya said, she said, I guess the heart rate challenge said Huda was doing her thing, and she understands Shelly, but at the same time, they was not closed off, so it should be no really big deal. I said, okay. Everybody had different opinions about closing off, but y'all wasn't closed off. Because y'all was confusing. Y'all have was confusing statements. So I say yes. A lot of y'all was confusing with the statements about closed off, act like y'all was closed off, but y'all was closed off. It was too much. She said model Zach saying that he was why he picked her because she was more romantic, and he didn't pick Laundry because it was more platonic and whatnot. I said model Zach was too much anyway. Because you picked a freaking Amaya because, yes, she was kissing you and whatnot. You feel like it was on platonic. But then you picked your game when you switched up on her, understanding your business. And then when you realized she was the freaking most popular and most authentic and people liked her, then you wanted to jump in the bandwagon and be all good. I said, boy, bye. You need to freaking worry about yourself and fix yourself. She stand up business was tough for her. She had to be on her own. She understand why I guess she felt like the girls didn't want to step in because they didn't want to be involved and everything, but she just like she was on an island all by herself. I feel like the girls somebody should have stepped up for her. But it took Brian to step up and that was a turning point. And then she started feeling him. And then not. They got great fit at the Holloway. She said people will have a lot of journeys because they call journeys sex in the bedroom. So she said people will have a lot of journeys in that bedroom, more than we didn't see. But she said some of the ladies and the guys changed up after the Maya vote. So there's that. And Maya was the winner of the show. So, we'll see how it goes. I don't know much about Maya and Brian. I think they did interviews, but I didn't watch a lot of that. And also, I didn't watch Pepe and Iris' interview either. But I know Iris did say something about Huda, about how Huda was doing the most. And she didn't like her and like that. And something else, something like that. Adrena, it was calling Huda out too. Because I didn't see Adrena interview, but Adrena don't give a damn. She just say what you have to say, and she don't care about what nobody says. So, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I can't wait for the reunion. I want to see how this goes and whatnot. I wish they do not skate around these issues. I think they really go dive deep, really explain it, tell it what's going on. I want nobody to hold back and whatnot. I hope they break down this. Hope they could try to give a better explanation, even though no matter what it is. Oh yeah, I'm about to get off. I'm about to get off, boo. I've been talking in 2.5 hours. I'll be talking. But that's that. Hopefully the reunion, they do a good job and not disastrous reunion of last season. I don't want to see the long ass interviews. I want to see the long ass videos of them explaining why they eliminate someone. No, we don't see that. Explain it, talk about it. Let's see if we understand it. It still might make no sense, but whatnot. What's happening? We don't know see if we're gonna be there or not, but it'd be interesting to see that interaction and see everything else. But y'all, that's it for me right now. But we're gonna start watching UK, and I'm gonna watch it, but I'm not gonna do about weekly reviews of it. But I think I'm gonna watch it after the season ended, or we get close. We could do one big large live, and talk about UK season. Because I didn't hear much people talk about it, but U.S. people don't really talk about it that much over here. But they do say that the season is good so far. They need to make folks stand on it. They need to make folks stand on their business. Every last one of them. Everyone. I want to hear nobody say, "Oh, everybody was saying for the right reasons," because y'all will piss me off. Stop that. Speak up. AC will roast. AC will diss track. Stand on that. Who you talking about in that diss track? I don't know if you're getting the names. I'm not listening to it. Speak on that. Everybody speak on that. Y'all get on Huda. Now y'all start the interviews. Now y'all see the interviews. Y'all need to all watch the show, see how we see, and be ready to explain it. And now that we have Andy Cohen co-hosting with Ariana, because Ariana needed help because she did a disastrous in figure last reunion. So hopefully we get to the bit nitty gritty of that. But y'all, yes, that's that. We're gonna continue to watch Beyond the Villa. We're gonna start watching UK season. Maybe we can start watching tonight. We'll see. I gotta start doing something. I'll let y'all know. We'll go watching and watch along. Y'all know I'll put things on Discord. We're gonna start watching it. Because we watched the first episode, but we stopped since then. And that's that. But I appreciate y'all coming through. Oh, Annie's not any better. Hell to no, I don't know. Annie's not all that. But we'll see. We need someone to hold everybody foot to the fire. We need someone who understands the word love bombing. We need somebody who really understand the dynamics and let these people know that how y'all moved this season was not the correct way to move. It wasn't. I want somebody who really watched the show to give this. Also, they need to watch it and also tell them, explain exactly what we seen, so they can know they have to be better prepared and having. I don't want to hear nothing. I want no PR statements either. Y'all in each other's faces. So what? And what? Y'all unfollow each other, so stand on it. I want to see if Laundry might address Clark about some of the side comments she was making. And maybe Clark could express how she felt about Alondria. We'll see how this goes. Alondria confront Ted about why you didn't tell me when you was not attracted to me. Why I had to find out after I get out of you. You should have been straight up for me. Why you was straight up? Nick, if Sarah didn't go, will you still be with her? Or you would still pursue? You would have pursued Alondria. Let's get for real. Let's be for real with these questions, y'all. Let's get up on here. And I want them to get on hood up behind too. But we'll see how that goes. You know, people get off figure fragile. We get over your figure light personal. But yes, let's get off of here. Hope y'all enjoy. Please like the button, like, subscribe, comment to my channel, share this video out there, let people know about me. Hope y'all enjoy. I hope I gave you as much content as possible, even though I didn't get to see all the interviews yet. However, it's still coming around. So hopefully there'll be no more conversation until the reunion. And that's that. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out. All right, later, y'all. Until next time. Peace out.